It is recording. Hey, this is Trevor. Today we're working on JWT, just Python right now, and then hopefully we'll get to the labs. First thing I wanted to do is just build some Python classes and information. So I'm gonna go vim utils jwt.py, and let's see. So number one, I know I want to be able to decode and decode and rebuild a JWT. That's going to be the first thing I want to do. So let's start with maybe the decoding, and let's actually grab. So I'm going to go into one of these and access the lab. JWT authentic base unverified signature. Cool. And the reason I'm doing this is so that we have, a JWT to practice with. I'm going to click on my session and we don't have value. Cool. We'll log in. And it may be in the, oh no, there it is. Copy. All right. Let's do IPython. Well, the only thing I hate is in Python, in IPython, I have to re-import if I change the library. So we'll just call JWT equals this. And that'll be what we use to play with. Okay. So let's import base 64. Let's import JSON. Well, no, we need these. Let's look. Is there any, I want to see if there's any stuff from, requests. I can do this. This is what I was looking for. Any, what do you call it? Template stuff. So I need to import logging. Cool. Let's decode it first. And then we'll write a decode function. If I was better at type doing Python typing, I would do that, but let's start with decode JWT. What I want to input is the JWT, and then what I want to get out. See, I wish I knew how to do this, because then I would put it what I wanted out. But I can just do it in comment. Returns the head, body, and sig. Head. Let's do this actually in proper Python documentation. So we'll do it here with triple quotes. Returns head, body, sig of JWT with the head and the body decoded. All right. And we could even write tests. I don't know if you've ever, well, it's probably too much to get into, but whatever. All right. So first thing we're going to do is split it. So we'll go head, body, sig equals jwt.split on the period. Now for the head and the body, we want to base 64 decode. When it's a JWT, they strip off all the equal signs at the end of each section. And that could cause issues, but there's a trick. If we just add 2 equals to it and then try to decode it, it'll work fine. So let's call this encoded head, encoded body, and sig. So decoded head equals base64.b64 decode. And we want to do the encoded head. And then I'm going to do plus equal. So I'm going to add two equal signs to it. And then I want to do encode. So I'm going to add another parentheses here. So this happens first, dot encode. So that it turns it into a byte string. So that B64 decode is good to go. And then we'll decode here so that we end up with a string. Return deck head. Let's try that first. So I'm going to do IPython import utils utils.jwt. I think that's right. utils.jwt decode JWT. Oh, I need to do utils.jwt. Hey, there we go. Sweet. So there's the decoded. Do we want to, yeah, we want this to return JSON, or I mean a dictionary, right? Mask, why you do it, and there are it's because, so I'm building this because I want to, right? I want to get better at it for my own purposes. I want to understand the ins and outs. I want to have all this in a class so I can, do whatever I want in the script. So for me, I'm just going to write it out. Yeah, kind of. And I think it'll be more useful also. But, yeah. So I'm going to do head equals JSON.loads deck head. And then that should return a dictionary object. So Control C, D. Sweet. So I want to import that and run this. Now we have a dictionary where before you can tell we had a string. Now we have a dictionary. Awesome. There's the head. We want to do the same thing with the freaking body, but I don't want to repeat all of this. So let's create another function. Def. Let's say, I don't know what we're calling this decode. Call it decode part. That sounds good. Part decodes a single part and returns a dictionary object. Cool. So we're going to take this and put that here. We're going to, we'll call this encoded part and change to encoded part. And then we'll just return this. That looks good to me. We'll remove this, and then we'll go head equals decode part encoded head. Return head. Okay. So make sure that's the same. IPython imports. Perfect. Let's do the same for body equals decode part encoded body. And then let's return a tuple with, should we do a named tuple, a dictionary, or just a tuple? Let's try it like this first. The signature, we're not going to do anything with. I mean, we could, I guess, base64 decode it. But I don't know if that's valuable. At least not yet. So let's control D. Yes, IPython. And import JWT. And we'll decode that. Sweet. Now we've got the header, the body, and the signature. And each one is a dictionary. Yeah. All right. Now let's write an encode function, right? Def encode JWT. One that takes this type of input and returns this same thing. So we'll take this, will need head, body, and sig. Okay. Returns a JWT from the head, body, signature. Let's look up real quick, just because I think it would make this better. Python typing. There we go. Okay. So I want, in the typing, I want head to be a dictionary. Do I go like that? Colon. Okay. So colon dict, body, colon dict, sig will be colon string, and then it returns. How do we do return? We do it arrow, what it returns. This will return a, what will it return? A string? Yeah, I think a string is right. Okay. So this will help, like in the future, I'll know, oh, these two are dictionaries, this is a string, and I expect to get a string in response. And we're going to basically do kind of the same thing. Let's create an encode part. Well, I guess we can do it just like we did it before. So encoded head equals base64.b64 encode. This requires a string, so we're going to do json.dumps of the head. Isn't that right? And I can't remember return what it returns, so we'll go to IPython and we'll try it out. So yes, we'll run it, we'll import, and this time we want JWT encode JWT, and we need to give it a dictionary. So we're going to copy this and put that as the input for the head. We need a body and a signature. Cool. See what that does. A bytes like is object required not string, and that happened where? JWT line 27. Right here. Okay, that's what I thought. So we need .encode. If anybody knows how I can get IPython to just reload this file, it'd be really helpful. And so far we haven't created a class, which That's what I wanted to do. We're just kind of creating functions. Okay, so this is pretty close. All I want is .decode here, and that should work. Except for one thing. So we need to kill off the equal signs. If there's none in this one, but there could be. So what if we did like this? So head equals encoded head dot split on the equal sign. Let's put this decode here first. Decode. So we're going to decode it, and then we're going to split on the equal sign, and we're going to take 0. If there's no equal sign, you know, we'll return the same. It'll be equal. We'll return the same thing no matter what. Now we want to return head. All right, let's yes. I'm going to do IPython import, run this. That's cool. That's what we want. Now, I need to do the same for the body, but again, I don't want to type it all over again. So I'm going to do just like I did here, encode part. This is going to encode part. The part will be a dictionary object, and we're going to return a string, right? Yeah. So encodes a JWT part, returning the string. I don't know if that comment is really very valuable, but we want this stuff here, and I'm going to change this to, oh, this is not encoded part. This is just part. Change word part. I'm going to change this because now it's encoded to part. And then here I'm just going to return. Cool. Now with that, we should be able to rebuild the JWT. So we'll do it like this. Encoded head equals encode part, and we'll give it the head. Encoded body equals encode part body, and then we'll return. I'm going to delete this. We'll return F. Boom. F like that. Encoded head dot encoded body dot sig. Ooh, I think that's it. We can check now that we've got both encode and decode. We should be able to use these. Import. Let's run. We ran that other thing, this one. We'll just name it parts equals this. So now parts has all three, and then we're going to use that as input for encode. So we'll do utils.jwt.encode JWT parts. How do you expand a tuple? Python expand tuple. Oh, with asterisk? Okay, that's right. So I'm going to, because parts is a tuple, if I put an asterisk, this should now work. Hey, now we can check if this new JWT, let's save it, equals that, new JWT. Now let's check if we made it. So we're going to do new JWT equals utils.jwt.jwt. False. Dang. What did we get wrong? Well, definitely something in the beginning. Oh no, that's the SIG. Let's do JWT. Utils.jwt.jwt. And new JWT. They look very similar, but not exactly right. Look, something's... Yeah, something in the signature is different. Or in the... Excuse me, the head. The... Something in here too is different in the body. Signature should be exactly the same. It's very odd. E6 was ZMCK NCD, and yeah, signature is the same, but head and the body are different. What would be different? All right, well, let's check it out. Let's do new JWT. Let's decode it. So we'll do utils.jwt.decode JWT new JWT. That... dang it. Tils.jwt. Alright, what the heck's different? They decode to the exact same thing, but they didn't encode to the same thing. So personally, I do. I think so. The question is coding necessary, right? I think it can't help. Okay, how about this? I don't think that you can be an elite, like, bug hunter or pen tester. You can't be elite without knowing how to program. Now, that's not saying that all programmers are elite hackers. And, if you can't program, you're not good at it. It's just that, yeah, that's what I think. Let me know what you think about that, but that's my opinion anyway. You can't be elite without knowing how to code. So if your goal is to be elite, then yeah, definitely look to learn how to code. But if it's not, do what makes you happy. I would be, speaking of happy, I would be super happy if I knew why these two didn't match. It's got to be like something with the double quotes. Do I not, when I encode JSON dumps turns it into, I think this is it. Loads takes it from JSON loads. Whatever. Geeks for geeks. You don't have permission. Okay. JSON dumps. I think this is where I'm messing up. I'm using this wrong. Serialize object as 8 JSON formatted string. That's what I want. I want to end up with a JSON before I then encode it and B64 encode. Do I need this? Yeah, so as far as which languages I would recommend, I guess it really depends on what your goals are, right? If you're looking to do web apps, then JavaScript is primary. Python is good, right? JavaScript is probably better to know. Like that would be the first. Python's good because you can do extra stuff with it. If your goal is to do like reverse engineering or, payload development, that kind of stuff, maybe something lower like C would be better. Let's see. What was I doing? Oh, I want to try encoding now. So I want to do what we did up here. Parts. We're going to utils. I forgot to import. Yeah, no worries. Feel free to ask any questions. I'll do my best to answer, just like everybody, I've got my perspective. So take it with a grain of salt. We want this one. Yeah, bytes like object is required. So I do need this. All right, let's check. Let's do one other check. We've got new JWT, and so these two, I'm going to take this one. This is the one we got from, no, I'm going to take this one. This is the one we built. I'm going to go here to dev.token, token.dev, dang it. Token.dev. And I'm going to paste it here. There's no issue decoding this. Now, let's duplicate this tab and take this one, which is the original, go here, no issues decoding that. We'll put them side by side. Everything looks fine. I'm calling it good. Even though they're not equal, and I can't figure out why. It may be like quotes. I don't know. But, all right, let's do one more test. I can take, yeah, we've done that. I can take this and decode it and then encode it and end up with a JWT. So I think we're good. These are what I wanted. This is the base. Should we make this into a class? I think so. And then we'll start doing labs. So, all lines. equals equal. Oh, yeah. Yeah, what? Equality is just equals in freaking Python. Why did I do? Oh no, it is equals equals. Because single equals sets the variable, double equals when testing for equality. Yeah. Okay, never mind. Sorry. This is just bad saying. Maybe all lines doesn't need. Yeah, it doesn't. But if we didn't add that, we could get errors. I mean, all right. It's a good point. Let's try this. We can do try and then accept let's just do pass for now. Pass. And so that we get an error. Control D. What I'm gonna do is if this try fails, I'll add 1 equals and then try it again. If that one fails, I'll add 2 equals. And that could be it. So what do I want to do here? This is in the decode part. So I want to import. I want to get the parts here. Okay, here's the error. Unbound local error. Oh, be clear. Accept exception as E, and then print E. Let's do it that way. Control D, yes. My Python, this, unbound local error. It's not erroring here where I expected it to. Try base 64.b64 decode encoded part. IPython import, and then we'll run this. Incorrect padding. It prints out incorrect padding if this equals, does it like equal it? Incorrect padding. Print here. Control T. We got incorrect padding. We're not getting an error here though. The error's happening. Sell this. Errors happening on JSON loads down here. Try. We can do else. I think that's just going to make it worse, not better. And it doesn't error, but it doesn't give us parts. Returns none. And it was the body that needed at least 1 equal. For Python base 64 test for incorrect padding. Let's see what this says. Well, that's not it. So it could be, yeah, maybe spaces. I don't know exactly. I don't want to spend any more time on it. I think we've proven out that it works while they're not exactly equal. That shouldn't matter. So let me undo what I did here. What was the... Control R. Okay. And now I think we're good. I mean, this is a good start. We haven't created a class, which I kind of would like to. Do I want to create a class? I think so. Like similar to shop. Yeah, I think we should. So we'll just do class. We'll call it JWT. We don't have, do we have an init? Yeah, sure. Let's do JWT. No, we don't have an init. Okay. So now that we have a class, all of these need self. We could put def init self dot JWT equals, we could define some self dot head equals self dot body equals, oh, we need self here, right? Let me close this one and double check. Yeah, we need self. Oh, and I forgot the dunders. Dunder. I'm just going to create some placeholders. Self.sig. Self.encoded head. Self.encoded body. Something like that. Now, let's make sure all these have self. This way, we don't necessarily, we can use it on its own, but we can also use it as part of the class. So self dot, we'll add that there and here. Should we, what should we do here? Decoded head should be part, and this should be part. Yeah. Okay. So right here, let's set self dot head equals head. There. Let's do self dot encoded head equals encoded head. Self dot encoded body equals encoded body. Self dot sig equals sig. And then let's just use, so head will equal self dot encoded head. self.head equals, let's do this. Body will equal, we'll do self.body equals self.encoded body, and then self dot, and then self dot, and self dot. And we'll do kind of the same thing here. We're going to use the variable we receive as input, and then we will do self dot encoded head, self dot encoded body, I don't know if anything I did for the last few minutes is a good thing or not. What do we got? What's the error here? Class already defined. Oh, I need to delete this now. Whoops. Because we don't need it. Now that we've got a class, and this is like the base of a class, right? As we go through the labs, we should build this out and have it be more full function. I think we're ready to at least start on a lab here. So let's check it out. We're gonna start with this lab. I need a break real quick. Get a drink, and then I'll come back, and what we'll do is we will work on this lab. All right. Yeah, so give me like just a couple minutes and I'll be back. Thanks.